All right. Oh, we're live. Hi. Well, it says starting preview, but we should be good to go. Hey, everybody. So, had a bit of a panic there for a little bit.
One of us panicked.
One of us panicked because video is not working.
Remember what you said about the microphones?
Yes.
You are literally right here.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So, hopefully you can hear us well enough. If not, I'll turn it up a little bit. But we're trying something new so that the audio is not blown out. So, I don't know if I should put it up here like that.
Yeah, Chief, we out here.
We out here. I'm still doing that. Sorry.
Yeah, you actually don't have to.
I don't have to make out with the microphone. All right, so what we're doing is I have a video on Veterans for Vet, but I did want to address one thing. We've had some complaints about us talking about tacos. So no longer will we talk about tacos. However, we will eat tacos.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad that you just poured those out.
Sorry.
What if they were loose in there?
I don't know. Oh, well, they're from what is it called?
Marmol.
Marmol.
Two tiny tacos.
Two tiny tacos. We have to put a little lime on them. So we're gonna enjoy
put
some.
that on yours. I'm not gonna put it on mine.
No, it's a flavor enhancer.
Lots of air in the audio, and it's quiet.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
We just gonna do this here?
We're gonna have to.
We were trying to mess with the volume a little bit by being in a different spot here.
All right. So
but we're just gonna have to be right up on the microphone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be right up on the microphones. And then we're gonna turn it just down just a tad so that it doesn't blow out the audio in the field recorder. I'll get this figured out, guys. I am not an audio engineer. We don't have the budget to hire an audio engineer, so. Can I have my tacos now?
Must be, yes. Christopher says must be the mustaches muffling the sound. Correct.
Fair.
That is.
So we're going to enjoy a little tacos for our YouTubers.
They're still staying too quiet here. Anthony says it's too low also. Test. Check. How about now?
How about now?
Check, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Push it the other way, Bobby.
Because it's like really loud now.
Yeah, in our ears it's hot.
Coming in hot. Like the feeder.
Hold on. It's coming in. Here we go.
This might help too. Bam. That initial technical difficulty really threw me off because I couldn't set some of this up. That probably helps the area as well.
It'll probably be too loud now.
Yeah. So like I said, we were having some technical difficulties at the beginning. So some other stuff that I was trying to prepare, I was unable to prepare. But now we're prepared. What feedback are we getting now?
They said, there we go.
There we go. Nice.
Boom. Yeah, hey, there you go. Whatever you changed in the computer helped.
Yeah, it was the audio. You have to on the audio mixer within Sling Studio. You have to really up it a lot,
You have to do things.
which I don't think is very.
Christopher, thanks for joining us. He says hello from Schleftia.
Hello from Celestia. It's been how many years? 2 years since we've been back. Been to Celestia.
1.5.
1.5. Hopefully we can go back next year. I don't know what the plans are. I do know I'm going on a cruise. Hopefully you can go too. Make sure you go to Sailing the Seas with Dynamic Discs. Find out more information about getting on there with me, Jeremy Rusko, Zach Melton, Eric and Tina Oakley. Hang out with some of your disc golf peeps.
Hey, Courtney, thanks for joining. Yes, we are out here. We are here. And I got tacos.
Yeah. Courtney Weekly? Weekly?
It's past now.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, it's good to see you, Courtney. All right. So we've got a lot of questions. We got a lot of things to discuss. We're going to talk about different things. And what?
Good point, Joe.
What?
You said Robert looks like he's in the witness relocation program, losing the glasses and adding the mustache.
Yeah. Oh, I do have something. I almost don't want to say anything because I want to see if it's your reaction. But the magazine came out. Oh, maybe we should show people the magazine.
What magazine?
The Physics of Flight.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, I'm going to go grab it. You talk to him. Give me like 30 seconds.
Yelta says, Robert, I think Taro could rock your stash too. What are your thoughts? Taro he can do whatever he wants, you know. I think he's got a wide variety of facial options available to him. Mailbox, you can have a taco. However, you're going to have to go find it yourself. We do not have extras that we can send to you now. Yo, Anthony, is it possible to drape something over that door again? I'm not going to say that it's your car that's reflecting, but it's definitely your car. Tablecloth? If you hang it over the railing, you're good.
All right, so if the YouTubers, well, I guess that's all we have right now, but there's a new Physics of Flight that I believe is going to be available in the next couple days.
Yeah.
But if you can recognize the back of that head, that is Robert.
Yeah, I think this is my official modeling.
Yeah, this is modeling debut.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an article in there.
Yes, thank you very much.
About the disc golf answer man.
Dude, Robert looks like Uncle Rico. You're darn tootin', Jeremy. I can't throw a disc over the mountains.
So there's an article in there about the disc golf answer man, so make sure you check that out. Cool stuff.
We won't say who put it together, but it was me.
So yeah, check that out. But I want Robert to see the picture, the main picture.
Oh, I've seen it. I already saw it.
Oh, and what did you say?
My freaking hair's messed up. I saw it when it was in proof, but there's nothing that I could do about it at the time. Look, so check this out, everybody. All right, so look, we go outside. It is blustery when we're outside. Very, very windy. And so we're like, all right, let's take some pictures. We'll get going. And this is the friggin' picture that they choose because Temp didn't tell me that my hair was blowing in the wind.
My hair is not blowing in.
My hair looks great.
Reason number 25 why being bald is awesome.
It infuriated me because literally neither of y'all have to care about that whatsoever.
Not one iota.
I'm mad.
All right, so yeah,
Dude,
Physics
Samuel, tough scenes, man. He said I didn't get into one of the classes I need to graduate.
Ouch.
Brutal, my friend.
What happened there?
Hopefully you do. Sorry about that.
All right, let's go ahead and hop into the recording of the Disc Golf Answer Man so we can hop into the questions.
Let's.
The password is...
The password is...
Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me Robert, the Mustache McCall.
That's me, man. Got a mustache.
Eric McCabe is out on assignment today. So he
Doing
is not
secret stuff.
Secret stuff. He's not with us here in the studio, so he's just have me and Robert today. So how are you doing today, Robert?
Life's good. Just had a taco,
Yes, we did.
so I'm pleased.
We had a taco, and it was delicious. Delicioso.
Muy delicioso. Yeah, we got mustaches on our faces.
Yes, we do. You'll have to tune into YouTube to check out the mustaches. Obviously, you won't be able to hear. Well, here, wait. For the audio listeners, turn up your stereo real quick.
Please
Ready?
don't.
Turn
Please-
up your stereo.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh,
That's how my mustache sounds.
oh, nasty.
Oh, this is usually Eric's microphone, too.
Yeah,
You'll
you've
appreciate
made a
that.
huge mistake.
Yeah.
No, they've been met with mixed opinions. Some people think they're great. Most people think they're not. So yeah, I'd say we fall somewhere in the middle of that. I'm
I've
not
been
excited about it.
mistaken for Steve Harvey.
Nice,
far.
good.
Someone else mentioned Cheech
Mm-hmm.
of Cheech and Chong.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other one? Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Dr.
Yep.
Phil. So good stuff there.
I just drew an Uncle Rico comparison,
Yeah.
so that's good. Chaser also, or somebody, I don't remember who in the chat, I'm sorry, but said that I look like someone who's in witness relocation because I got rid of my glasses.
I
and my
wish we
beard.
could show it, but someone's Facebook messaged me a video, or no, posted on my Facebook about the earlies of Rhett and Link. I don't know if you guys watch Good Mythical Morning, but
Yes.
early videos of Rhett and Link. They did a video called how to murder a mustache, how to kill a mustache.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay, I'm interested.
I'll have to show it to you later, but
I'll
yeah,
have to check it out.
it's funny.
I stopped by the retail store just a bit ago and saw Jackie Morris in there, and she said,
Yeah.
This-
Oh yeah.
she said, this is like talking to a different person.
It would be.
What the heck, Jackie?
They're supposed to. Are you watching Scarlett and Jackie? You guys said I don't want to reveal it, but they said they were gonna work on something to participate in November.
Carl, that's a good idea. He said I should be Ron Swanson for Halloween.
That would be good.
I would be about it.
Yeah. So you have to wait till next year to implement that.
Running my own Halloween now.
All right, so disc golf. What is going on in the disc golf world? Real quick, we want to make sure you know about Winter Marksman League, that the registration for those events have started. They started November 1st. You can go to dynamicdisc.com/WML to learn more about it. I mean, that's just good stuff because it did get really cold a couple weeks ago, and now it's back to semi-nice out there. But once it gets really cold, the evening gets cold, the time change has happened. You may not have the opportunity to get out and play any disc golf. And one of the aspects you can really still work on is your putting game. And a Winter Marksman League is perfect for that because you set up a league where you have 5 baskets, 5 different stations. You go out there and putt for points. You can win prizes. You can win whatever we have set up. What do we have set up? You win prizes.
That's it.
But different places set up different ways. You can do. We've seen some people do it at breweries. We've seen them do it at just empty warehouses, at churches. Let's see, in Illinois, they do it in a prison. So you can do it just about anywhere that the venue allow you to have baskets in there, but it's a really good time. We also partnered up again with UDisc where you can keep score, and it also allows you to watch how people all over the world are performing in a Marksman League. So please get out there, get signed up because it's a really cool event to have in your area. I'm sure we're going to have one here in Emporia or one close by, and we'll travel out there to play because I really like playing in the Marksman League.
Yep, for sure. You got to check it out. And if there's not one in your area, sign up to run one. You got to do it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go through a few questions, and then we're going to talk about some other things we got going on because although winter has caused some areas, please, I know some of you get to play disc golf all year round, but some areas disc golf slows down a bit, but we still have a lot of things you can do disc golf related here with Dynamic Discs. So, guys, remember, as always, you can send in your questions to discgolfanswerman.com. We will try to get it on the air. We'll start with a Google question. This one is from Dr. Noosh. We are adjusting for light. This one says, hey, guys, I was wondering what the first disc golf discs you ever purchased and played with. In hindsight, do you think you made good choice starting out and got discs that match your skill level at the time? My first 2 discs as a beginner was a putter and a 13-speed driver, the latter of which did me far more harm than good on the course. Absolutely. I don't even remember. The earliest memories I have of a disc, I actually got paid for doing some video with discs, and I believe it was a Wraith, a Rock, and a Groove. The Groove obviously was too much of a disc for me. I thought I liked the Wraith.
It was too much of a disc for everyone.
And then I ended up getting like a Shark and then a Avenger SS. So, yeah, the first disc you get is very important, and I would have to say Speed 13 is not the best disc you want to get as a beginner.
There's better ones for you.
Right.
I remember my first one was a Valkyrie, and it was just like it would just dive left on me to start, so I just threw it until it started to straighten out a little bit, and then I could kind of Hyzer flip it to like, I don't know, I got it out to probably like 300, and I thought, dude, I'm the best in the game. No one can throw this shot
Put
like
me on
me.
your team now.
And then I watched, there was another guy in Abilene, Jerry Kingston is his name, and he threw rocks really, really well. And I watched him throw one about 330 and just so straight, like perfect angle. And I was like, oh, I am not the best in the game. But yeah, so I started out with that and then a putter, and then over time grew my bag out quite a bit.
All right, next one comes from Scott. He says, hey, Disc Golf Answerman crew, I just started learning disc golf, and one aspect of the game I struggle with is throwing a putter. I've tried a number of different molds and techniques, then I picked up a harp and had a ton of success with it. In your expert opinion, do you think my game will suffer if the only throwing putter in my bag is such an overstable disc? Should I stick with what works and focus on other aspects of my game, or keep trying to learn a less stable disc for more shot options? Hashtag keep it real.
Oh, we'll keep it real, all right. We don't have to.
Oh, okay. Wait, it's not that too intense for the keep it real glasses.
That's right. No, I do think you should have more of a neutral or even an understable putter in your lineup. You can You could throw that overstable putter, forehand and backhand. That's fine and cool. But to have something that goes really, really super straight, I think that's extremely valuable, and it won't mask your form inadequacies quite like an overstable putter or disc will. So try a little bit more neutral one and keep working on it.
Yeah. This one comes from Jacob. I recently attended my first NT event as a spectator when I went to the Delaware Disc Golf Challenge.
Nice.
And I hunted wabbits. No. I was following a card on the first day, and there was a player who shall remain nameless that wasn't playing that well. After almost every shot, they would complain and eventually led them to slamming their discs and their hat on the ground in expletive riddled rants. Wow. What would you guys recommend doing if there was someone like that on a card you are playing on or spectating?
Spectating, you can't do anything about it. It is.
You could take a picture and post it on social media.
That's true. I guess you could do that, but
no, you wouldn't want to do that.
No. But if you're playing on the card, as a player, I mean, if they were saying expletives and being distracting to people, you could give them a courtesy violation for that.
Yep.
I've seen that happen before more than once.
Yep.
But as a spectator, you can't do anything. You're just there to watch. I mean, it stinks to say it like that, but the people who are on the card are the people who are in charge of making those rules calls and everything. And even if you notice, like, say you notice a huge foot fault, and nobody on the card says anything about it, then it didn't happen. Like, that's all there is to it. It might as well have not happened.
Yeah. All right, next one comes from Nick from Wisconsin. I just bought a Warden a couple weeks ago.
What's up?
Because of you guys.
Oh, what's up?
And I'm loving it. I was trying to do McDonald's.
Yeah, you are loving it.
I wanted to get a faster Warden. What disc should I get?
Okay, you're looking for a faster Warden.
Yeah. Just throw your Warden you have faster.
You know what I actually like a lot is the OptoX Fuse from Latitude 64. I think it's pretty point and shoot for the most part. You'd like that a lot. And then something that's a little bit more stable, but that I think you can throw really straight as well is the EMAC Truth. Those are two different types of discs. Eric just walked in a second ago. He's got stuff going on, but he just want to come say what's up. But
Yeah.
he just came in to say EMAC Truth.
Oh, yeah, he needs to show his trucker.
Yeah, look at this fella. Strong.
All right, we'll see you guys
Yeah.
next week. I'll be here next week.
He'll be here
Nice.
next
Let's
week.
get it.
All right, so go back to what you're saying.
So yeah, either I like the OptoX Fuse just because it's easy to throw straight. It doesn't have a lot of turn or fade, and then the EMAC Truth is going to have substantially less turn, a little bit more fade, but once you work it in, it'll be just super duper straight.
Excellent.
So I like it for.
Excellent. All right, so I mentioned earlier we wanted to talk a little bit. Oh, what?
This is a good one. Chris suggests the Suspect. I agree. Once it's worked in a little bit, out of the gate, the Suspect is
more stable than the Warden.
Yeah, kind of overstable.
Yeah.
But as they work in, you can get them to go super duper straight. Yeah, for sure.
I would say my arm level, strength, whatever my play level, it would have to be fairly windy, and I'd have to like really launch on it to get the Suspect to go straight. It's still going to have that heavy fade, just for people that are on my level. So,
I like it.
All right, so what I did was I had a Doug Burkus come in and I interviewed him. Now, this is a technical, the audio listeners don't know, but earlier before we started recording the audio, I had some technical difficulties, and so I'm going to have to not compromise. I came up with a way that I think will work for the video, but I'm trying to make it so that audio people can hear it as well. So hang tight. Let's see if this works. So I interviewed Doug about Veterans for Vets. So let's see if this works. So how are you doing today, Doug?
Pretty good. It's definitely fall around here, and I love the fall.
Yes. So also, I know we're talking about Veterans for Vets, but something that's always on our mind is Glassbone Open. How's Glassbone Open going?
You know, it's going pretty well. In fact, about 45 minutes after this interview, I'm heading up to Council Grove with Eric McCabe to kind of give the final approval to the changes we've made to the course up there, which is going to be pretty awesome.
Nice.
And registration opens tomorrow for international players. So we typically open up registration a week early. So registration opens tomorrow for international players, and then next week it is on.
Yeah.
As you and I both know, there'll be
now. By the time people are listening to this, it would have already opened because today is Monday, November 4th. You're talking November 5th. So if you're by the time you're listening to this, you'll want to make sure to go to glassboneopen.com and find out those dates of when you can get registered.
Correct. Glassboneopen.com.
Oh, and we get to go live, so hopefully people will tune in on to us for YouTube next week.
Next week, yeah, that'll be
week,
fun.
So, yeah. Okay, so back to what we originally were going to do this for, and that's Veterans for Vets. So tell us, what is the mission? Well, tell us first, what is Veterans for Vets?
Veterans for Vets is another tournament in a box. You know, we're really good at doing those tournament in a boxes, very much like Trilogy Challenge, USA MPC. Someone can run one of these events. It's very easy to do. You don't have to be an expert, and it just gets people out playing disc golf.
So what makes this one different? What is the mission for Veterans for Vets?
Yeah, this one's a little different because, number one, it's done in the winter. So these events have to happen in December, January, and February, which aren't the best months to play disc golf. And then they're for a cause, and the cause is an entity, a local entity or organization that supports veterans. So, you know, kind of, I guess three things make the mission. One is it gets people out playing in the winter. A lot of people get that itch to play some sort of competitive disc golf. Two, it's very easy to play, which means this would be a great first tournament for somebody. And then number three, it does help veteran organizations. And I know just here locally, our local VFW is having troubles keeping the doors open. And anytime disc golfers can do something to make a difference, especially for a charity that helps people, we are all about that.
So who can run this? Because the big thing is we want people to run one in their area. Who is qualified to run one of these?
Boy, well, naturally, obviously, people that have experience running events, running tag matches, being active in their clubs, those are the no-brainers. But, you know, anyone that has a passion for disc golf and has a passion for veterans, it's very, very straightforward, very simple. People can go to veteransforvets.com, and lots of questions are answered on that site. Anybody that wants to make a difference can certainly run one of these events. We make it super easy.
Now, you mentioned some dates earlier, but give us specific dates of when I can register to run one, and when I can expect to play.
I'll start with when you can expect to play. You can expect to play these in December, January, or February. The website is open now for people that want to sign up to run one. In fact, it opened on the 1st last Friday, and we've already got a handful of folks that have signed up to run an event. But you just need to sign up at least 2 to 2.5 weeks prior to your event in order to make sure that you can get the player packs and all that good stuff.
What are some of the costs? If I'm at a TD wanting to do this, what are some of the costs associated with getting it run?
There are no costs. Okay. In fact, the way we have it set up is the players will pay $25 each. They'll get 2 outstanding discs as well as a chance to play 1 round of disc golf. That money includes all of the money that you need to pay for your player packs, and then there's an additional, I believe it's $7 per player that can go straight to a charity. So the TD doesn't have to spend anything other than the initial investment to buy the player packs. But we encourage people to do pre-registration, and then they don't even have to worry about that.
So speaking of the player pack, what do players get?
Players get 2 discs. They get a putter and a non-putter, and we've got some pretty good ones for them. As far as the putters, they'll be able to choose either a Prime Burst Judge, a Classic Blend Judge, a Classic Guard, or a Retro Keystone from Latitude 64. And then on the non-putters, we have a Lucid X Escape, a Lucid Vandal, Gold Burst Pioneer from Latitude 64, which is a really great disc. And then one that I know a lot of people are throwing is the Westside TP Gatekeeper.
Oh, nice.
And now when I say the players get to choose that, the TD is going to be ordering those discs for the players, and they may end up ordering an assortment of all of those. And then when you come to actually play the event, you'd get to pick which disc you're going to throw.
That's exciting. Now, as far as how I sign up, my understanding is the divisions are a little different than normal.
Yeah, we again, trying to keep it very simple. There are only 6 divisions. There's a division for advanced and pro men and women. We lump those guys together. There's a division for novice men and novice women, and there we're looking for folks that may not have played a tournament before. And then finally, we have 2 special divisions, one for United States veterans that are male and one for United States veterans that are female, to kind of give them some special recognition and have them play together. We think is a great way to put some veterans together enjoying disc golf. That's the least we can do for the folks that have given so much of their time and energy to serve the country.
Now, as a TD, Doug, what advice would you give to somebody who hasn't ran many or any events? What's your advice if someone's like, you know what, I just want to help out, and this sounds like a cool way to help out? What advice do you have for them?
If they want to help out, they should run one.
Yeah.
I mean, they should just jump into the deep end of the pool and learn how to do it. I tell you, if you go to veteransforvets.com, you'll see frequently asked questions that answer a lot of the questions that typically come up for someone first running an event. We've got some things you can download, a flyer that you can download to promote the event. We've got a deal worked out with Disc Golf Scene where you can go and use one of their templates to coordinate having people sign up for the event. It's really, really super easy. And if at any point along the way, one of the things that Dynamic Discs is known for is our customer service, and we'd certainly help anybody along the way if they had something that wasn't already addressed on the website or in the instructions on how to run an event.
That's awesome. Well, Doug, as a disc golfer that served in the United States Marine Corps, I am super excited about this setup here. I think it's really cool. Like Doug mentioned, if you guys have any more questions, there's quite a few questions that are answered at veteransforvets.com. Get yourself signed up, run one in your area, and have some fun during the winter playing some disc golf.
Yeah, there'll also be a list on there of where the events are, and if you're just a player trying to find out if there's one in your area, you can go to that page. I think it's titled...
it's like event locations.
Event locations,
Yep.
yeah. So go there, and again, if you're maybe nervous about running one and there's some movers and shakers in the disc golf community, tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, man, would you be interested in helping me run this? And that's also a great way to get into running an event by just, volunteering to be someone's helper. That's a great way to get your foot in the door.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that information, Doug.
Thanks, Bobby.
All right, have a good one. All right, so hopefully that was okay for you guys. I know the YouTubers were just watching us hang out as that goes, but our audio listeners. So yeah, good information. Little extended interview on just for Veterans for Vet, but this is something that's really important that we're starting out this year that I think a lot of people should get excited about and will get excited about. So yeah, check out veteransforvet.com, veteransforvets.com for more information. All right, let's get back to the questions. We're gonna hop over to SpeakPipe and see what we got over here.
Hi, this is Rock from up here in New Hampshire. This question/feedback is for Robert. We're 2 episodes into On the Call, and I just finished listening to your interview with Calvin. Man, that was interview gold. Calvin answered your questions with so much insight and just so thoughtfully. He didn't use any cliches, and he gave answers that I honestly didn't expect to hear in many cases. I'd love to know from you how many points you expect your rating to increase based solely on what you're learning from doing these interviews. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, and keep it real.
Thanks, Rock. Thanks for submitting the question, and thanks for the positive feedback there. If you don't know what Rock is talking about, I am doing a new podcast here at Dynamic Discs called On the Call, spending some time interviewing some of our sport's top players about the mental side of disc golf. And, yeah, just kind of getting into their minds in stressful situations, some of which they've come out on top on, and some of which they have lost at, right? And, yeah, just starting to talk, because on Disc Golf Answer Man, we talk a lot about form and tournaments and discs and everything like that, but there's not a lot out there for the mental side of disc golf. And so something that I've really enjoyed, and you actually hit the nail on the head. I started the podcast because I wanted my rating to improve, kind of by osmosis.
Complete, all about him.
Yeah, that's right. Right now we're at 10:05 right now. I expect next tournament I play probably going to average 10:30, just from talking to higher rated players so far. Everyone I've talked to has been higher rated than me, and that will probably stay the same for a little while. But I will say I've got a couple lined up soon that you guys are not going to want to miss. I can't spoil them for reasons that I can't tell you right now. But I got secrets.
I got secrets.
And I'm really excited about the next couple of guests. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to us on iTunes, on Spotify, on Stitcher, whatever you use to consume podcasts. That's the way that you can get on the call. And then we are talking about, kind of how we house on the call, how we house Disc Golf Answer Man. So we're going to be working on that some soon. But for the time being, just search Disc Golf Answer Man, and you will find the on the call episodes with you'll find them all listed there. We've got 4 now.
The other thing is share.
Please do, yeah.
Share those episodes. Share Disc Golf Answer Man if you really enjoy it. That would make our day if you shared it on your Facebook feed or Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, we've actually gotten a lot of positive feedback and some really good ideas from people who have reached out and said that they're enjoying the podcast. But hey, this is an idea. Gotten some fantastic ideas from people who've been listening. So yeah, send that feedback over to me. I'd love to hear about it.
All right, next one comes from Hayden.
How's it going, Answer Man? It's Hayden from Cleveland, Ohio. So here's my question. I'm a newer player. Only been playing about a month and a half. I played a lot of Frisbee before disc golf, but picked up my first Innova starter set right when I started playing. Those quickly became unthrowable because they're DX and light and they're really flippy. But my problem is that I got a Deputy, a Truth, a Maverick, and a Sidewinder. That's not the problem, but the problem is that I know all of these discs are a little bit more understable, and the only way I can really get them to flip over at all to get any more distance is to really crank on them. The Deputy is not really a problem to get it to flip over. The Truth I can sometimes get, but everything else I really have to pull on it hard to get it to flip over. And I don't think the problem is that it's too fast. The Sidewinder might be, seeing as how it's a speed 9. But all these discs, the Truth is like a -2, Sidewinder's like a -3. I know the Maverick's a little more like 1.5 or something like that. But they're all more flippy, so I'm wondering why I can't get them to turn over, whether that be a form thing or a disc selection thing. But yeah, love to hear what you guys think. Love the show. Thank you. You answered so many of my dumb questions. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day.
Was he talking about the turn on those negative numbers?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because he went from speed 9 of a Sidewinder to all of a sudden saying then -2 and 1 or whatever. So, yeah, the Deputy definitely shouldn't be a problem to turn that over, especially a beat-in Deputy will turn over nice if you throw it hard. The Maverick kind of surprised me. It depends on if it's a newer Maverick. Only from my experience is that when I first get a Maverick, I can get it to go pretty straight. But once it beats in, like I have a Lucid Maverick that I've had for quite some time. If I get the right throw on it, it'll turn on me and just barely fade back, if any. So that kind of surprised me that the Maverick doesn't turn on him even when he throws it hard.
Yeah, it can be different for different people, like you said. The Maverick, I think, for us, is one of the discs that has the potential to fly straighter than anything else. If it's a little too much for you to turn over, it should be pretty easy to throw straight. And for the people who can turn it over, if you just put a little Hyzer on it, it only wants to go straight. So I think that's a fantastic choice to kind of step into.
So do you think it's his form? I mean, I guess it would be not necessarily his form, maybe, but maybe it's his skill level, which would coincide with form. I guess.
I think those two probably go hand in hand. And honestly, without seeing your form, it's kind of tough to tell. If you're turning stuff over too much or turning it over not enough, you want to look at a couple of things. Three things total. One is the speed, and then the other is stability, and those can kind of coincide with one another. If the disc that you're throwing is too fast, it's going to act more overstable than it actually is. So if you only have the arm for a speed 7 disc and you're throwing a speed 12, regardless of how understable that 12 speed is, it's probably going to act overstable for you. So those things kind of go hand in hand. And then the other one, it could be your form. Maybe you are throwing things nose up or you're torquing your wrist over too much. So the best way to check on the form part, at least, is if you want to go to the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page, Facebook group, I guess.
Group, yep.
Drop a video in there. We have people do that all the time, and there's some good suggestions put in there. So check that out.
All right, next one is from Jameson.
Hey, guys, this is Jameson calling from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Just want to say what's up to Disc Golf Answer Man, and had a quick question for you. Looking at winter routines and how to get my game better for next year's season, really looking at workouts, and I know Eric McCabe had talked before about not wanting to build up bulk muscle because it gets in the way of the game, but really more about explosive power, trying to get more speed in my arm. and more accuracy. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I don't think you want to build bulk muscle for something like that. Though I think a lot of people could use that as an excuse to say I don't want to go to the gym because I don't want to build too much bulk muscle for disc golf. So instead, I stay home.
I have heard people are like, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to bulk. Look, guys, those weightlifters lift for 3-4 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, and then they build up to that bulk. Just because you go lift weights for about 40 minutes doesn't mean you're going to get too bulky for your genes.
But it does mean that your body composition could improve.
This is true.
So,
but you're not going to bulk.
It also depends on how you lift, right? People who are looking to bulk usually lift heavier at lower reps,
correct? Right.
So they get in there and they get 80% of their max of whatever they're doing, and then crank out like 5 sets of 5, like little quick sets that you really can't do that much of because you're trying to achieve failure, right? If you're looking for more, I guess, kind of lean muscle, or to kind of stay lean body composition wise, lower weights at higher reps is the way to do that. So if you're looking to gain some strength, that's one way to do it. But then that has to go along with flexibility. A lot of people will start going to the, I'm a victim of this for sure. A victim, like it happened to me and I couldn't help it. I made this mistake as well. I spent a lot of time going to the gym, lifting, running, things like that, and just disregarded my flexibility for a long time. And now I'm extremely inflexible. That's aided by a couple of knee surgeries, but even before that, I wasn't very flexible. And flexibility allows you to achieve different parts of the disc golf throw that you wouldn't be able to without them, without that flexibility. So that's the number one thing to work on. And then when you're thinking about your timing and everything over the winter, there's no substitute for actually throwing discs. You can mess with a towel, you can throw into a net, that's fine, but throwing discs, watching when they come out and being aware of that, there's no substitute for that.
And we have a good friend of ours that does a lot with the physical conditioning of disc golf, and that's Disc Golf Strong.
Yeah.
Mr. Muncie. You'll definitely want to check him out. Look for him on Facebook. He's exploding in the disc golf world. He's helping out a lot of pros, and he has a program for everybody else to follow if they would like. So check that out. Let's see. Next one is from Liquid Sausages.
What's up, crew? I've got a quick question about OB and marking your lie. So I was currently caddying for a tournament. I wasn't even playing, and 2 players threw OB out of the back of an island. And they threw OB actually in the same exact spot. The card decided that they threw OB from a certain point, which was, I think, a stake within what the island was made out of. And so when they took their lie, they came back in and they used the same exact mini and the same exact lie to putt from and to tap out. And I guess my question is, are they allowed to use the same lie? Or since it was 2 different throws, isn't it 2 different lies? And so we were just wondering, because were they technically playing from the same throw then? Which I think that's not totally legal. Or were they just using the same lie but playing from 2 different throws? All right, guys, thank you for the answer. Hopefully this isn't way too basic of a question, and keep it real.
I don't think it's way too basic of a question at all. It's a fantastic question. But I'm not sure I have a perfect answer for you. I think to 100% be safe, I would just mark right next to the person. So if Bobby and I were playing that hole, we'd both throw out of bounds long on the island. That usually happens to us. We throw long of a lot of baskets.
I throw longer.
Yes, but I mean it's an island, so as you know, we're both still out of bounds. So anyway, we go to go to the same spot, and if we determine that the discs went out of bounds pretty much at the exact same spot, I think it's still worth it for both people to mark it, just to be safe. As far as if you should be penalized for it, in retrospect, I would have said something at the time, I think. But yeah, it's tough to really split hairs about that, because if it's so close that you say I'm just going to play from that, that's fine. But if you all right, so say we get over there. Hold on.
Okay,
hold
maybe,
on.
okay.
Hold on. Say we get over there and you have a mini and I don't. Like I left mine in my bag and I left it over at a different
Right. That's
tee.
where I was going, I think.
And you said, "All right, I'm going to mark my lie and putt."
Mm-hmm.
And so you do that and you putt, and you make it, so you pick it up. Then if I said, "Hey, can I borrow your mini?" and I mark it, that's totally acceptable.
Right.
But marking it and then throwing both from the same spot and like that same actual mark, that feels bad to me.
What if okay, so let's say this is a scenario very similar to what you just said. I mark my lie, make my putt, because I always do. And then you walk up and you realize you're like, oh crap, I left my mini back at the tee pad or something.
Sure.
But you said it before I picked up my mini. And you said, "Can I just go ahead and just throw from yours, because it's going to be the same spot?" What you would think you would want me to go and pick it up and hand it to you so you mark it?
I think that's what I would want to do.
Yeah.
I
You don't think it would be cool to just say, yeah.
Look, I'm in
You know
this
what I mean?
situation. I'm probably not like calling something.
Right.
I don't think. But it's just to totally be safe, to cover your bases.
I guess it would be just a better safe than sorry type thing.
Hey, before we move on, we got a super chat.
Super chat
Coming in from Ace Run Productions. Thank you, Ace Run. He sent in $9.99. Said, "I'm sure Robert's inbox is filled with sponsorship requests this time of year. Enjoy the off-season, gentlemen." Ace Run, thanks so much for the super chat, man. We really appreciate the support and honestly continued support. You're in here all the time promoting our products, helping us out with super chat. Yeah, we also out here. But anyway, thank you so much for that. My inbox is actually pretty empty this time of year, because that is no longer my responsibility. Eric McCabe is handling Team DD stuff right now, and then Brian Shintaku handling Team Latitude and Team Westside. So their inboxes are very full. Mine is, just full of assignments to write and things to think of and stuff like that. So, but this is definitely that time of year. Things are ramping up. No doubt about it. But thanks for the super chat, man. We appreciate that.
All right, let's head over back to Google Forms and see what I got here. I got to delete that one because we answered it. Now we're going to go to Sam P. "I've noticed most pros seem to wear a polo shirt when playing it at a tournament, except Calvin Heimberg, who I've only ever seen wear a sports shirt. Is this a personal preference, or is there actually a dress etiquette pros should follow? The only etiquette is that it needs to be a performance shirt, I believe, for NTs, and you would think majors, because I have seen people not wear polos. So it has to be a performance shirt or a dry fit shirt. So a lot of those, I think, he said sports shirt, so I'm assuming he probably means performance shirt.
That's what that is.
So that would be the only requirement, is that it be a performance shirt. So yeah, you're going to have ones that are going to have the collar as a polo, and then you're going to have ones that I guess in a sense, could you almost say that if someone were to wear like a Izod, what's the material? Twill? No.
Yeah.
Tweed? No.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's not performance. It's more
like the Piquet polos, like the
yeah.
I know
That's what I'm talking about. So if you were to show up in that, I guess you could be told you're not in that right dress code.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to wear one of those, because if you're going to get hot and sweaty, that's definitely not what you want. Something that's going to whisk away the sweat.
It's actually wick away the sweat.
Oh, what did I say? Whisk?
Whisk away the sweat.
Okay. So anyway, so that's the
Most
dress
people don't
etiquette
take
that you
a
have.
whisk with them to the course.
A whisk. What?
No, yeah, I think you nailed it.
But what's for bottoms for your pants?
They really only have stuff for tops,
The tops?
as far as I understand. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
I need to double check, but I think that's right.
All right, next one comes from Chris Carpenter. "You guys love the podcast. I'm a tall, lanky dude. Sometimes I have major issues keeping my balance centered on my turn and follow through, leading to either early or late releases. Is this a thing you've heard of before with taller folks? Either way, any tips?"
Keeping keeping my balance centered on my turn and follow through. I haven't heard of that much with taller folks specifically, but that's certainly something that everybody deals with, is just your timing. Some people get too far out on their front foot or lean back too much, kind of on their back foot. So
less to do with his height and more of his timing.
Yeah. Everybody has to deal with that sort of thing. I will say, as a tall person, you have a statistical advantage, or pretty much, like, statistically, you're more likely to be able to throw farther than other people because you have longer levers than a lot of people do. But learning to control them, that's the difficult part. If this is what I said earlier, but if you want to post a picture of your Form the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page, Facebook group, we would love to check it out and give you any ideas that we have. I know that we frequent that often, and Danny frequents that often as well, and so I think he'd have some good suggestions for you.
This next one is from JB.
Hey, answer guys. I have a strange question. So I was playing a tournament with my friend a couple weeks ago here in Connecticut, and we were both playing intermediate. And after the first round was over, I met up with my friend preparing for the second round, and he seemed really distraught. And I was asking him, what happened? And he says, well, I just had a weird game. And I said, well, what do you mean? He says, well, there was one guy on my card that every single time my disc went off into the rough, say like on a dog leg, or if it was a long hole and, I just didn't make it all the way down and hit a tree or something, he would take his phone out and start a countdown and said, this is how many minutes you have to get your disc. Now, I've never seen anybody do that when I was ever playing a tournament. I know that I've helped people look for their discs. I've never timed it, as long as it's not super long or we're holding up, obviously, another group behind us. But is that just like a super D-bag move to do, just to kind of get in someone's head? Or is that an official rule that you can kind of do, and sort of get on a person on your card about? So I'd like your thoughts on this.
So yes, technically there is a lost disc rule, and you have 3 minutes. I don't know the verbiage as far as when that timer starts.
That's
Robert
what I was
looked it
going to
up.
read,
Yeah.
but let's start off with this. The way that the question sounded there from JB says that if a disc goes into the woods, as soon as it goes into the woods, the person pulls out their phone and starts timing.
Nope.
Incorrect.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Not only shouldn't you, but that's illegal.
Right.
Okay. Here's the actual verbiage. This is Rule 805.03. A disc is declared lost if the player cannot locate it within 3 minutes after having arrived at the area where it is thought to be. Mm-hmm. Any player in the group or official may begin the timing of 3 minutes and must inform the group that timing has begun. All players in the group must assist in searching for the disc. Failure to do so is a courtesy violation. So what I've done before is, once I get to the area where I think my disc is going to be, don't see it, within like a 10 or 15 second, like right where you think you should see it. We'll say, hey, I'm not sure where my disc is. Let's start a timer. Once you start the timer, everyone needs to be looking. So if you look by yourself for a minute, or let's say someone's on the total other side of the fairway, you're way out of their view and you don't know where your disc is, the timer doesn't start until everybody starts looking. So that's what you got to do. For the person who's standing on the tee box and starts it as soon as you let the disc go into a bad spot, incorrect. You have to have arrived at where the disc would have been or is supposed to be.
Yeah, there's something. No, not similar, but I remember the whole counting lost disc or having a timer happened in a tournament recently with me, and there was a little. No, I wasn't playing, but there was a little bit of, not controversy, but a little bit of heatedness. But
it can be contentious. Like
yeah.
it sucks, but normally that's why, if I have that situation happen, if it goes beyond, say, I don't know, 30 seconds of all of us looking for a second, I'll say we should start a timer. So because it's my disc.
Let me give you.
Right?
What do you think about this? So let's say we're four people on a card. I throw a disc, goes off into the woods. Everybody's throwing. We're naturally walking toward our lies. It's my turn to find my lie. I'm looking, and someone says, "Should we start a timer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's start a timer." Someone starts a timer. Only 3 of us are looking. 2 minutes later, I, the person that can't find the disc, turn around and notice that one player is sitting by their bag.
Yep.
Could I technically say that timer doesn't work, it doesn't count? The timer should start when we're all looking.
No. Okay, so
It says.
But hold on. All players in the group must assist in searching for the disc. Failure to do so is a courtesy violation. It doesn't say that the timer restarts. Any player in the group or official may begin the timing of the 3 minutes and must inform the group that the timing has begun.
So, but I could confront. Let's say the timer goes off. No found disc. They rule me lost disc.
Right.
I could confront that 4th person and say, "Dude, courtesy violation. You didn't even help."
Yes.
I mean, I don't know that. Obviously, I've never seen this scenario happen. It was just one of those testing the rules extreme, I guess.
Right. No, yeah. Not only could you should.
Yeah.
Everyone has a responsibility to look for the disc. It's in the rules.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Next one is from Austin. Oh no, we did JB. This is Austin.
Hello, Disc Golf Answer Dudes. Austin from Oklahoma here. I am wondering about the 2020 Spectator Badge for GBO. I will be attending GBO Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'd like to purchase the Spectator Badge to be able to receive all the cool stuff. But I know that we picked them up at the players' meeting, which obviously I won't be in Emporia at that time. So would I still be able to purchase the Spectator Badge and receive all the stuff on Friday whenever I got into town? If you can just let me know, that'd be awesome. Thanks.
So yeah, the Spectator Badge, just in case you don't know, if you're coming to Emporia, Kansas to watch, now you don't have to purchase a Spectator Badge to watch, but like he mentioned, you can get some goodies, some discs and some other coupons and goodies and stuff like that, and you can come spectate. And I believe last year or the year before, they started even having spectator areas where if you have a Spectator Badge, you get certain bleachers you can sit at.
Dude, in the watch. VIP, that's what they call
them. But as far as you will want to purchase those early, because if memory serves me correctly, there is a cutoff for purchasing them. I don't know if it's like a week before or whatnot, but there's a cutoff that you can purchase them. Now, let's say you, like his scenario, you purchased it, but you can't quite make it before check-in. They will have them available somewhere for you to get them. They'll figure out a way to get you your stuff for sure.
Yes.
I don't want to say what that is because I don't know if it'll be the same as it has been in the past, because Doug is really good about figuring things out like that and figuring out different ways of doing things. So I don't want to say it and then it be something different, but we will figure out a way to get you your stuff.
Yeah, more than likely an obstacle course that you must complete.
Correct. Or swim with piranhas.
Whoa.
This one is from Chad B.
What's going on, DGAM crew? It's Chad from Kentucky coming at you with a few things to talk about on the show this week. First and foremost, we only have a few more days until Movember is here. I'm in the DGAM Movember donation group, and I'll be rocking the trucker mustache next month. So, question 1 is, what style have you guys picked?
All right, so this is obviously was submitted right before November. We are actually in November, or Movember, because you got to grow a mo for a bro. And I have what is mine called? I don't even know what mine's officially called. I keep calling it a dead caterpillar, but it's,
I don't think it's officially called that.
I'm officially calling it that. So as you saw earlier on the YouTube, and you have to check out Eric's maybe his Instagram. Eric has also chosen the trucker. I am looking.
Eric's is incredible.
Yes,
it's very strong.
His mustache game is strong. So there's a style guide on the Movember.com website, and I'm looking that up here. Style guide. Here we go. So I would have to say that mine is the boxcar or the undercover brother. And Roberts is, well, they don't really have one for Roberts, do they?
Mine's probably between undercover brother and businessman. I'm
So,
a
yeah.
businessman.
So there you
I'm a
go.
businessman.
So if you go to if you go to Movember.com, you can look up the style guide and pick your style if you are doing Movember with us. Yes, we are raising money. Just as a reminder, you can go to moteam.co, not .com, .co/DGAM, and you can donate to our team.
That is correct.
And we're about $1,700.
Yeah, we're doing fantastic on that front. If you're in the chat right now, you can type in !Movember.
Yes,
and can take you to that site as well.
Next one is from Anonymous.
Hey, Bobby and Robert. Just tuned into the show today.
Hey, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, we take all questions or comments, or if you're just kind of letting us know that you're tuning in, we appreciate that as well.
I, for one, appreciate you tuning into the show today.
I do, too. And letting us know. This one's from Slater. Oh, wait, I didn't finish Chad. My bad, Chad. He had other things to talk about.
Go for it.
Here we go, Chad. We're gonna try to fast forward. Hold on.
What's going on, DGAM Movember donation group? And I'll be rocking the trucker mustache next month. So, question 1 is, what style have you guys picked?
We talked
Pause
about that.
here, Bobby.
I already paused. Sorry.
One question I wanted to ask relates to practice throws. I was watching Jomez coverage of the Hornets Nest disc golf course and saw on hole 13, round 2, Simon, James, and Kevin all slipped on the tee pad.
Oh.
So my question is, other than putting or putting a towel down for traction, can a player hold a whale sack and do the run up with a full swing without letting go of the object? My thoughts are, if you gave it a full run up and swing of your arm, you'd be able to tell if you will slip. I say use a whale sack in case it fell out of your hand. But if the object did fall out of your hand, would that be a practice throw or not, since it's not a disc or a mini? Pause again, Bobby.
You're right. That would not be a practice throw.
No.
You definitely can do that. I think there are some players who choose not to do kind of a full speed run up and try out. For one, in case they do throw the disc on accident, but two, sometimes that causes them to overthink their footwork and really give more emphasis to the thought that they might slip instead of just going. Not saying which way is right or wrong or best for everybody, but that's why some people don't do it.
Lastly, if Danny is around the studio or hears this, I'm looking forward to Facebook Live shopping Thursday. Go ahead and get a lucid breakout ready for me. Thanks, DGAM crew. You guys rock my socks. Keep up the good work. Love you too. Bye.
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 All right, so he was referring to Danny on live shopping with Dynamic Discs Emporia. So if you go on Facebook, you can follow Dynamic Discs Emporia, where we have a retail store and we have the brand Dynamic Discs. And so we decided to break off and let DD Emporia have its own presence and kind of do its own thing. So you can go out and follow them. And on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central, they do a live shopping where you actually get to be able to say, hey, I'm looking for a flat suspect, or I'm looking for Pop Top Ballista Pro. You know, whatever if you're looking for something specific, they'll be able to look for it and answer questions. And Danny was a special guest. Before that, Robert McCall was a special guest, and then Danny. So yeah, he was on there for Halloween. Had a great time, and I think Danny had a good time. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Thumbs up. He says he had a good time.
Yeah. If you haven't joined us for live shopping, you should.
It's
It's
a treat.
fantastic. Usually it's the people who are at the retail store all the time. So Jackie, Jake, Scarlett, Alex, Noemi, those people will be on live shopping, and it's just a really interactive experience. Ask away about whatever disc you've been wondering about, and they'll tell you how it feels, show you exactly what it looks like. Super cool stuff. We've got a special guest coming next week to be on live shopping.
Ah, yes.
I'm not going to tell you.
Part of Eric's or
Okay, well, it's Eric.
Robert's part of Robert's secrets.
It's Eric Oakley.
It's Eric Oakley.
He's going to be here next week.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was going to say is one of the cool things that I learned about that apparently has been happening for a while is called Pretty Finds with Scarlett, and
Ooh, yeah.
I think that's such a cool idea. It's like if they find a pretty disc or something like that, then they talk about it. A nice pretty chameleon or some swirl or burst or whatever. So yeah, Pretty Finds with Scarlett. I think that's awesome. We got 3 more.
Question on the chat. What time does it start? It's usually 4 p.m. Central on Thursdays. That's what it is for the time being.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Hayden has another question.
What is up, DGAM fam? Hayden here from Cleveland, Ohio. I got two little questions. One is right now for distance drivers, I'm pretty new, so I use a lot of understable stuff. The two of which being a Sidewinder and a Roadrunner. Both are speed 9 and they're -3 and -4 turn, so quite a bit of understable, but I can barely get them to stay straight. And I was wondering, in the trilogy or dynamic lineup, what would be a good replacement for those? I'm trying to get all over to trilogy. I really like dynamic, and I was just wondering what would be a good replacement for those. And then also, I picked up a Maverick because I heard it's really...
All right, we'll do the first one. What you got, Robert?
The two discs that I think you should definitely check out are a Westside Discs Hatchet.
I love the Hatchet.
And yeah, it's pretty good. And the Latitude 64 Fury. Those are two great discs that are kind of going to be in that same realm. Same speed, same stability. If you really, really torqued on them, you could turn them and roll them. But they're just great understable drivers. So those are the two I would check out in that vein.
Do you think I should try the Fury? The Hatchet I used to throw quite a bit, but now I find it to be a little understable.
I think you should try the Fury. Why not?
Is a Fury?
There are unlimited discs at your fingertips. You should try all of them and figure out what's best for you.
What a very generic answer.
You have the capacity to do that.
I do, but I mean, okay. I just didn't know if, I mean, obviously, I know, like, the Warhorse. I've never tried. Well, I guess I have.
You probably shouldn't try the Warhorse. You don't need
exactly.
That.
So that's why I'm asking about the Fury.
But on the understable side, why would you not try every understable disc that you like throwing understable discs?
I know, but because I look at all the discs I have right now, and I'm like, man, I have a lot of discs.
How many discs do you have? 100?
About 350.
No, you're nowhere close to 350. I've seen your discs.
All right, next one is from Seth.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. This is Seth from Kansas City, Missouri.
I did it again, Hayden. You had another part of your question, right?
He was at like 36 seconds.
Gosh, Hayden, I am so sorry. Hang tight, Hayden.
But I can only know what would be a good replacement for that. Trilogy, I really like dynamic, and I was just wondering what would be a good replacement for those. And then also, I picked up a Maverick because I heard it's a really good disc. So far, I love it, but I can only really get it to turn and then kind of come back at the end if I really put a lot of power on it. Right now, if I just do my normal, like, kind of conservative, more typical throw, it just wants to fly straight and then Hyzer out at the end. So I was wondering what would be a good, not replacement, but another good turnover comeback type disc, whether that be like a Witness or something. As always, keep it real. Thanks for all you do, and have a great day.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
It's okay. If the Maverick is you can turn it, but then it comes back on you in the end, then yes, a Witness would be a good one to substitute in its place. Similar speed, but a little bit more understable. But then once again, if you're trying to replace that Sidewinder Roadrunner, I would check out the Hatchet or the Fury.
Sorry. What was I doing?
You're going to play another question. Nope.
Derek.
Nope, you still need to play Seth.
I still need to play Seth.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. This is Seth from Kansas City, Missouri. Quick shout out to Danny Lindahl. He's an awesome guy. I love sitting in and watching his streams. Real fun guy.
Yeah, fun guy.
My question for you guys relates to disc golf business. I am considering doing my own touring business, selling discs on the Pro Tour instead of having a brick and mortar store like you might see in Kansas City at the Dynamic Discs retail store. My question for you guys is it going to be easier for me to start out by selling other manufactured discs and maybe at some point trying to create my own discs and doing it that way, or also would it be more advantageous for me than rather than trying to rent out a warehouse or some facility to partner with totally hypothetical, but a business like Dynamic Discs that already has the machines and such needed to create discs and have some sort of business relationship with them where they get a cut of our profits or something like that. I'd love to hear your responses, and I look forward to it. Thanks.
What was the initial part? What he said?
He wants to go on tour and sell discs.
Ah.
Seth, in case you're listening to this on audio, Bobby's putting on the Keep It Real
I
glasses.
just put on my Keep It Real glasses. I don't even know where to begin, Seth.
Will you start by saying, I'm going to keep it real, please?
I'm about to keep it real.
Thank you.
There we go. Now I don't know where to continue. You've got to... I have to collect my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
May I have the
Oh,
glasses,
yeah, I got to
please?
give the glasses. Sorry. If you're listening on audio, Robert has now put on the Keep It Real glasses.
Hello, Seth. It's me, Robert. I'm going to keep it real.
Are you crazy? No.
What you're thinking about doing is going to be extremely difficult. Okay? Let's start off with this. Following the Pro Tour and selling discs on that. Not a bad idea. There are some people who do really well with that. But something that you need to keep in mind is that if you're catering specifically to professionals, they're not going to buy a lot of discs from you. They already have the discs that they want. They get them directly from the manufacturer. So in order for you to make any sort of money, you would have to have something that the manufacturers don't have that these guys could go buy. Now, if these Pro Tour, like if you're talking about the Disc Golf Pro Tour or national tours that have an amateur A-tier site or something like that, then that might be okay. But there are some other things that you need to keep in mind. Like, let's say you become a wholesale customer and you get wholesale pricing. That's fantastic. Factor in the cost of getting to the event, the cost of being able to be a vendor at the event, because you can't just show up and start selling discs. There are a lot more costs involved than I think people give it credit for. So this sounds like a fantastic idea, following the Pro Tour selling discs. That would be the dream. It'd be super duper cool. There's a lot more that goes into it than you think. Moving on to the next portion, which is, should you sell other manufacturers' discs while you create your own? Creating your own discs is like opening an entirely new can of worms. It's like Pandora's box. There are, I know that there are countless companies that have made a few molds that had the same idea as you and said, I want to make my own discs. And unless you're a very small percentage that are successful, it can just be a money pit. I mean, it's an extremely finicky process. There are more things that go into it than just owning the machines. There are so many more factors. We can't even get into all of them right now. But there are so many more factors than just having a business plan to successfully producing plastic discs. And then as far as like a business partnership goes, I mean, you are welcome to email Jeremy Rusko and ask if he'd like to do something like that. I don't think that he would want to do something like that right now, but I don't want to speak for him. So you're welcome to ask. It's never going to hurt to ask, but I'm telling you, you are opening up a can of worms unless you have done every bit of research and you have an airtight business plan and you have, honestly, quite a bit of capital to back it up, because this is not going to be a cheap endeavor. Keep it real glasses off.
Okay.
Handing to Bobby.
Hand it. Okay, sorry. I'll wait till I put them on. Seth, first of all, I admire.
Heck yes. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I admire your ambition. I admire that you've thought this through. You've planned it, or to the point you have. The biggest advice that I agree with everything Robert said, but one of the biggest advice I can give is that if you're going to say, I'm going to do it anyway, I'm going to look into it, the biggest thing I'm going to have to tell you is that you're just going to have patience.
Ooh, big time, yeah.
Patience. You're going to start trying to sell discs, and you may sell quite a few, and it may go pretty good for you at first, but you're going to, as you grow, you're going to run into problems. Like you mentioned something about doing online versus a brick and mortar. Online makes a lot more sense, yes, in today's environment. But then at some point, you're going to have some physical place to store all those discs, because at some point, you're going to figure out, in order to continue growth, you're going to need more inventory.
Yep.
You know, you can't rely on the top 5 molds and think that will just take care of itself. Yes, you'll make some money, but you're not going to make the money you will need to grow.
That's exactly right. Even if let's say you have a sustainable like 20 discs a week thing, and that's cool. But you want to grow beyond that. You're going to different pricing models, right? So it's not just, okay, I sold 20 discs. I made $5 per disc. I made $100 this week. That means if I sell 2,000 discs, then I'm going to make $5 on each of those discs and make $10,000 next week. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, your pricing model has to be variable to even come close to understanding what it's going to be like.
Yeah, it's very ambitious. I'm not telling you not to start.
Just know
you're going to have a lot of research done. Okay.
And resources behind it for
resources,
sure.
Yeah, so
it is not cheap.
We'll check in with you in about 5 years. No,
if you decide to do this, I hope it goes well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool, but it's just very difficult.
And I think the bigger reason why we're approaching it or saying it like this is because the way you've kind of said it, like nonchalant, like I'm just gonna go buy a few discs, go on tour, sell, go on tour, start a store, go online store, make an agreement with a big company. You know, there are a lot of things in between to fill in the gap. So anyway, let's go with Derek.
Hey guys, how's it going? So I've been in the sport really only about 7 or 8 months now. I'm loving it. I still haven't played in any events yet, and I'm just playing casual rounds with friends. But somebody that's really interested is my 4-year-old son. I mean, he loves it. I guess it's just because it's what Daddy does. But I mean, the kid's really cool with it. He'll I'm doing anything with my bag. He wants to know about my disc, and he can actually play Disc Golf Valley on my phone actually really well. So I guess my question is, he's 4 now. What is the earliest you've ever heard, or the youngest you've ever heard, of someone starting to work on the mechanics with a child and working on their form and throw and everything? And what disc would you recommend me starting him out with? So yeah, thanks for the input. Keep it up, guys, and keep it real.
Who would have started like really? I mean, close to us, I guess, is Paige Bjerke started. I think she's told us when she was 8 or 10.
Maybe a little younger than that.
Maybe younger than that.
But to talk about like mechanics, I don't know. I feel like Eagle McMahon's probably played since he was born.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you think
is it worthwhile to tell your 4-year-old, hey, you need to reach back a little bit?
Right, that's what I was thinking. Is it more mechanics or more just allowing them to get out there and throw and throw and throw and throw? And sure, if there's some blatant things they're doing incorrectly, you could get with them, but I don't know that how. I mean, I guess a big example could be is Tiger Woods. How early did Tiger's dad start? I mean, we all know the story.
He was extremely early on.
Yeah, it was extremely early on, but how technical did his dad get with him? I don't know.
I think the best thing that you can do, first of all, if you want them to be active in the sport for a long time, they have to want to, right?
Oh, for sure.
So one of the best ways to do that is just to get them to enjoy it when they're younger, and then start working on technique and stuff as they can understand it a little bit better.
I just caution that for someone to get super overzealous thinking, oh, wow, my child likes to play disc golf at 4 years old. At what age can I really get in there and really teach him the mechanics? And then you may inadvertently cause them to not enjoy disc golf, which would kind of take away what's happening naturally.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, Winter Marksman League, dynamicdisc.com/WML. Check out what's going on with that. Sign up to run one, and then once they start playing or they start going, you can go play them. VeteransForVets.com, a outstanding way to keep disc golf going in the winter months and a way to raise funds for a local veterans organization. Super pumped about that, being a Marine, former Marine. And I can't wait to see who's going to do one here. Of course, Emporia being the founding city of Veterans Day. In fact, this weekend we have the Freedom Fest, which is one of Emporia's way of celebrating Veterans Day. And as part of that, this will be the 3rd year we've ran the Freedom Fest Open, where I'm going to go play, where we get to go play some disc golf out at Soden's Grove, which is as of now, a temporary course, and we're working toward that being a permanent course. which would mean another disc golf course in the area, which is awesome. So anyway, veteranforvets.com. Check that out. Get more information there. Appreciate you guys tuning in and listen. Please go out and rate us on iTunes. Rate and review us. That helps us grow our audience.
5 stars.
If you are a listener on Spotify, you can go right to Spotify and search Disc Golf Answer Man and subscribe there. Or if you have another podcast app, subscribe. We have lots of plans for 2020 for the podcast because we think this is an awesome way to connect with our fans and followers and to help you grow in your disc golf game.
Yes, and while you're subscribing to us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all those places, go ahead and check out the On the Call episodes. You need to check them out. They're going to be good. You'll like them.
Check them out. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see YouTubers on the other side of the after show. Bye. All right, YouTubers, I'm going to take a brain break. Boy, I tell you what. Sometimes my brain gets so wired or so whatever, and I can't think straight. I think I need to turn off all notifications.
Yeah.
I mess up my words. I mess up what I'm reading.
Notifications get me too.
And I get very flustered. I already can't say words.
Let's start off with this. I have trouble saying stuff.
Right. I saw some people were pointing out that I should be trying the Fury. I think Julie and Courtney said something. And so maybe I need to do that.
You should. It's good. Yelta, what was your question? Would you type it again, please? I looked up for it and I didn't see it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. That's been out for a while.
Yeah. All right. So we are set up. We good to go for the after show? Did we get a good hot take? So what we're going to try. Oh.
I have a list. I'm not sure if we want to do it this week.
Oh, is there not one we can kind of tackle
we can.
on the fly?
You
got to throw us a softball.
Give me a second.
So, can I tell people what we're trying? Well, I guess you did on YouTube.
Yeah, but I typed it. I didn't.
Oh, you typed it. Well, okay. So, I guess we can start recording the after show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the after show.
That was a good one.
Did you like that one?
Mm-hmm. I felt the emotion.
You did. Well, because I like to go through the songs sometimes now. I'm trying to pick the mood of the song based on how I say the after show.
Heck yeah.
So this will, hopefully, maybe I've chosen a nice slow jazz one.
Ooh, a slow jam.
Slow jazz jam or whatever. So anyway, so I wanted you guys to know, we mentioned in the regular show that we are looking to sort of revamp, not rebrand, but the Disc Golf Answer Man, because we still like the Disc Golf Answer Man aspect. We still love the question. I mean, I look at the questions right now. Before we started the episode, we still had 101 questions.
A lot.
So people are still sending in questions.
Yeah.
Right?
And we want to continue to have
We want to continue, but we want to also kind of go even deeper, add some breadth to our show. So, of course, we started that with On the Call with Robert McCall, where he's interviewing players and going deep dive, and that's getting some good feedback. I did a walk and talk with Emerson Keith, where I talk a little bit disc golf, a little bit more personal, just a different, my perspective. I think what's interesting is it gets your mind, the way you think, and you get your answers.
Right.
The way my mind thinks, the answers I want to know from players.
And those are way different.
Yeah.
We've never thought the same thing ever.
Never.
Ever.
Yeah,
emphasis on ever.
Even when we go to Torchy's Tacos, we order completely different things. The only thing we can agree upon is the chips and queso.
Yeah, because it's fantastic.
So anyway, so we're walking talk, and then I am going to look into bringing back, because I used to do the Disc Golf Media Show where I talk to Disc Golf Media. I want to do more of that where I'm interviewing people that are in disc golf but aren't players. They do other things within disc golf, and they affect disc golf. They have value in disc golf. They impact disc golf, but they just aren't players, and they aren't on tour and making the impact through play. They're making impact in different ways. So anyway, one of those things, though, is an idea that Robert had was called Hot Takes. And now, of course, we'll come at something different because I think that's already a name of a show.
Well,
right?
The Hottest Take is a podcast that I like
Hottest
listening
Take,
to.
Right. So it's will you explain it?
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed this. It's a podcast by The Ringer, and that which is Bill Simmons' channel. And what they do, it's like a 7-minute podcast, and they get on there and say a ridiculously hot take about sports or culture or something like that, and then argue as if that is actually the case, right? Either argue sometimes for or against it, but most of the time argue in favor of it and like what that would look like. Okay, so one of them was that women's college volleyball should be the third major sport in the world behind basketball and football because it's more entertaining than hockey. They have better rallies, stuff like that, right? So then they talk about what that should look like, whether they believe it or not. They just do it, right? And I've really enjoyed. First of all, it's very funny, but second, it's interesting to think about, what kind of preposterous stuff that they come up with. So we thought about what that might look like for disc golf. We may not have everyone. We may not have one every single week. Not really sure yet, but
have to see how it goes.
But we'll try one for this week. Kay, are you ready?
Yes. Well, do we have any questions pending on YouTube chat?
Well, I don't know. You asked me to look at hot takes.
I did. Sorry.
What's a good trilogy mid that is like the end of a Star Rock 3? Just purchased a Ranger bag. Nice, man. Thanks, Chris, for purchasing that Ranger bag. The Star Rock 3, you're probably going to want to look at maybe like a compass might not be bad. That's going to be a good flight comparison, maybe a little bit straighter than a Rock 3. Feel-wise, you probably want to look at a Mace from Latitude 64. That's the one with probably the most feel similarity.
Someone had a good response on when to get with training mechanics with the kid. He said, and I lost it. Oh, any age around 6 is a great time. Children are more receptive to learning and can develop form better than they can as they get older if they continually practice bad form. Oh, okay.
Yelta asks, so what could other card players do about a player that's cussing out loud and is on another card in front of or behind them? This person is getting on people's nerves on that card, but also other cards and park users, which will not help us grow the sport or put us in a great spotlight. I'm not 100% on this, but I think you can address them as a player and even possibly give a courtesy violation
on another card
if you've seen it happen. I'm going to double check that.
Or does it have to affect your play?
I think it has to affect your play.
I would expect if you hear them and you know of it, then it is affecting your play. Now, if someone told you out of gossip or something like that,
right,
then I don't know that you're within your rights or following the rules. You can say that.
Yeah, it doesn't. In the rules, it doesn't say that you have to be on the card to call a courtesy violation. It says a player must not, list of things. The third one is engage in distracting or unsportsmanlike actions such as shouting, cursing, striking, kicking, or throwing park, course, or player equipment, moving or talking while another player is throwing, advancing beyond the away player, or leaving equipment where it may distract other players or interfere with the thrown disc, and so on. The latter part of that, things that they must do, is perform the actions expected by the rules, including helping to find a lost disc, moving equipment when asked, and keeping score properly. Watch the other members of the group throw in order to ensure rules compliance and to help find discs. A player receives a warning for the first violation of any courtesy rule. Each subsequent violation of any courtesy rule by that player in the same round incurs one penalty throw. A courtesy violation may be called or confirmed by any affected player, there you go, or by an official. Any affected player or by an official. Yeah, so you can call that from a different card if you want to. You can do it.
All right, there you go.
All right, are you ready?
Okay, here we go. Time to think.
Okay, here is the hot take for this week. And we want you guys to respond in the comments what you think about this. Are you ready?
Yes.
All jump putting should be disallowed.
Oh, you're going with the one that's wow. So I have recently, and I say recently, knowing that I don't play a lot, have worked on incorporating a jump putt.
Yeah, okay.
And as I'm doing it, that thought has crossed my mind that, this is something that people get upset about and stuff like that. I have made one really sweet jump putt.
Okay.
The rest, once I'm done, I'm like, I probably could have just tossed it up there.
Yeah, okay.
And done any worse or any better.
Sure. So the practicality of it is kind of what you'd have to question, right? So if we say there's no jump putting whatsoever, then you'd have to set the circle at a much wider distance, right? Let's say if we did, let's just call it 90 feet, right? Because outside of that, people might be throwing, right? And I think you should be able to follow through your shot after you throw, because physically it's not safe to run up to your shot, throw a full power shot, and then have to halt your
So you want because of the momentum. You want okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say, I guess to go along with this then we would say 100 feet. Outside of 100 feet, you can follow through your shot. Inside of 100 feet, you have to stand still behind it. You can still throw it, but you have to stand still and maintain balance just like you would inside Circle 1 right now. It'd be pretty crappy, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would.
I think one thing that it accomplishes is that putting actually looks hard again for some people. I think we'd see a lot more putting styles kind of like Ricky, who has worked hard to develop not really that step-through putt so much, but he just kind of stands still even from like 60 or 70 and just tosses it up there.
You're going to see a lot of beginner. If that was the rule, you would. Well, I guess most beginners aren't going to be jump putting, but I noticed a lot of beginners when they have a big putt, they're going for the big alley oop.
Okay,
like up and back down at it.
Sure.
And I even found myself doing that, and I would think that you're. You might see people more do a regular throw rather than a putt throw, but that's gonna.
All right, so Greldick says jump putting is okay, but step putting should be, I think he was going to say outright banned. Most step putts are so close you have to have video and slow it down to watch carefully if they are legal. I understand that.
Okay.
It does feel weird to have a part of the player's body definitely in front of the lie when they throw, like that isn't their arm. But here's a good example. I did it on the call with Chris Dickerson. He is a fantastic step putter, makes a ton of step putts, right? And his foot is definitely past his lie whenever he releases the disc, but it's not on the ground, right? Somebody like that, that skill that they've learned because the rules allow them to, their advantage is kind of lost in that. He'd still make a lot of putts because he's a good player. But if the rule was you could jump putt but not step putt, so that meant that any part of your body couldn't be past the lie. Does that change anything? Like, do we see? Man, no, I don't think you could do that. I think you would just have to do no jump putting. You can't follow through inside 100 feet. It's extremely impractical, mind you, because stepping off 10 meters to the basket from the edge of the circle, that takes a minute. Stepping off 3 times that is going to take.
Do you think it would cause scores to really dramatically go up?
No. But they'd go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because people wouldn't be as automatic from like 50 or 45 as they are now.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Andrew in the chat says jump putts are just as hard to tell if they left the ground before releasing. That's true. So one time I was playing in a tournament here in Emporia, and I had a straddle jump putt. It was on video. I had a straddle jump putt, and Danny was editing it. I was like, dude, you foot faulted on this putt. I was like, no, I didn't. I don't foot fault. I play by the rules, right? And he showed me, and when you slow it down, it was a straddle jump putt. My left foot was behind my mini, so I could get around a tree. And my right foot was still on the ground when I let the putt go, but my left foot was a little bit off the ground. It was from like 90 feet. I was never going to make it, but it was just to get a better angle to the basket, right? So I think something like this would eliminate that to where, I don't know, there's less to it. I don't know.
I guess I don't. It's not a big part of my game, so I don't know. But I mean, just how frustrated do you think pros would be?
Extremely. So many of them on the top level use that. If not
Do you
step
think
putting,
that's like more of a crutch then?
if not, well, yeah,
No, it's not a
but
cr-
it's because it's allowed within the rules. Like that's
Right.
that's a part of it. It's just like throwing from 200 feet. You can follow through when you throw.
What
from
would all
200 feet.
those internet trolls do though? I mean, they wouldn't have anything else to go.
Start calling foot faults?
Oh, okay.
More foot faults. Rec Rob said, "When are we going to start calling them putt jumps?" Smiley face. Never. Ever. Anyway. All right, that is this week's hot take. Jump putting should be outlawed. If you agree, let us know. If you disagree, let us know.
You thought about that last one.
Outright, I'll say it shouldn't be, but I would be interested in taking a little bit more ambiguity out of it, personally.
What else we got? What other topics?
Yeah, let's hit us with some other questions here in the chat. We still got a little while to talk about some things before we have to go and take care of some other work. So Gear Boggles in the chat says, "Why expand the circle? Just get rid of circle 2." Circle 2 is there just for stats. If you're saying expand circle 1 out to circle 2 and make it a 66-foot circle, I could be convinced of that as well. That's probably a little bit more practical than 100 feet. Yeah, I would expanding the circle might not be a bad idea. I don't know. What else we got? Hit us with some questions here. I see Caleb Corey in the chat says Jordan Castro ? That's really not our place to talk about on the show. If Eric was here, I would allow him to kind of talk about that. But just as I understand it, Jordan's not going to be on Team DD next year. And once again, as I understand it, that's not a reflection on his character or anything. I think Jordan is a fantastic person, as do all the people who worked with him up here. And we 100% wish him the best in what he ends up doing next year. Like I said, this isn't my role, but I have no doubt that he will find a good sponsor for next year because he's a really good dude. I like him.
Mrs. Drew brings up a good point. I think it would take the excitement away from a big putt. You would see more layups.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
And I want to see exciting stuff. But then, for the people who are like, we shouldn't be shooting 14 under, that would probably solve a little bit of that sometimes.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking when I said would the scores go up, that would take care of that part.
Chaser said he needs me to accept his Facebook friend request so he can unfriend me in disagreement. I care a lot about this topic. That's not true. Anyway.
Someone said the opposite. Allow
Chaser,
jump putts.
I don't look at my friend requests on Facebook very often. I'll go check them soon.
Allow jump putts. Allow jumps again.
Make jump putts great again.
I guess. You already said that. Rollers should be banned.
All right. That's on the list.
Oh, it's on the list. Okay, so we'll save it for another time.
We're not going to do it later on. Or we can talk about that one later on. Jason says, how do the Sorcerer and Raider compare to each other? I have 2 Raiders in Fusion and a Sorcerer in TP. Just wanted to know the difference. Well, Jason, how does a Honda Civic compare to a Ferrari?
Ouch.
They're very different. No, I'm joking about the comparison, but these discs are very different. The Fusion Raider is going to be quite a bit more overstable and maybe just a hair faster than a Sorcerer. Sorcerer is going to be straight to understable depending on who is throwing it. The Raider is intended to be quite a bit more overstable.
Josiah says, I've heard some people talk about pros to slow down and watch closely for their form. Usually this refers to backhand, but just curious who are some good sidearm throwers to watch closely for form.
Big Germ.
Yeah.
Big Germ is a really great sidearm thrower, and he's a very, very tall person who throws the disc more smoothly than almost anyone else on a forehand. He doesn't yes, he leverages his longer limbs to throw farther, but it's not like he's just torquing over the disc and using the most overstable stuff. He has fantastic touch. So he's a great one to watch. If you're talking about just mechanical, repeatable form, Nate Sexton has a great forehand for that. If you're talking pure distance, Eagle McMahon is up there. Chris Clemens is definitely up there. You'd have to kind of flip the video so looks like you're throwing with your correct hand.
With the script.
But yeah, both of those guys bomb forehands, like probably a little over 450, which is a crush.
DJ says, I have a DD sniper bag and love it. I just started about 5 months ago, and I'm using a Mamba as a driver and can get it about 300 feet. What would be a good substitute for a DD disc?
For a Mamba, you said?
Mamba number 5.
Very understable. You're probably looking at a Witness.
Witness?
Maybe something like Fury's going to be a little too overstable for you. Maybe a Underworld from Westside Discs. You might check that out. Chaser brings up a good point. Eric Oakley saved my shoulder with his forearm instruction. Yes, Eric does have a very, very good forehand.
And he has a good video that we did a couple years ago, maybe a year ago.
Not probably around a year ago, yeah.
We did some disc golf clinic videos where I think about 5 different subjects, and one of those is forehands, and it is a very popular disc. A lot of people video. A lot of people enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I agree. Gear Boggles. That's a funny name, by the way. He says, will the Gatekeeper get released in different plastics? Vandal plastics. Probably on both. Don't have a good answer for you right now, though. I know that we have VIP on the shelf for the Gatekeeper as well as for the Vandal. I bet the Vandal will come out in Fusion or Bio at some point, but that point is not tomorrow.
I'd like to see the
a little bit.
Vandal in a Fusion.
Yes.
For sure.
Rec Rob says your go-to release disc this year. So a disc that we released this year, is that what you're saying? If that is what you're saying, then the Raider is my answer. I think I have 4 Raiders in the bag now, and I love them.
Oh, wow. What's the ideal height for a max distance Hyzer flip? I throw around 5 to 8 feet off the ground. My friends keep saying I have to throw higher to get more distance. 5 to 8. It seems kind of low.
That's pretty low. The ideal height's going to be different for different people. You definitely want enough height for the disc to get all of the flight out of it before losing speed and falling toward the ground. I think if the disc lands perfectly flat, you probably could have thrown it a little bit farther because it still had a little bit of distance potential to it. So probably a little bit higher than 5 to 8 feet is good, but you don't want to get it super high. I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think there's a perfect ideal one for that. Ooh, Disc Guy in Maine says Diamond is only an 8-speed, but very understable like the Mamba. That's true. Diamond is a great one, especially if you find a max weight diamond or a 170 carat plus diamond.
Yes, we were just talking about that this morning in a meeting.
We're not going to say what we were talking about it for, but we were talking about that.
No, we were talking about that particular disc,
and it's fantastic.
It's very. We were just talking about.
I was really impressed by it. I've thrown the easy to throw diamond once or twice just to see. And for people with even moderate arm speed, it's extremely understable. But this thing, man, the 170 plus diamond, it was good. Like it flew. It was fantastic.
Any intentions to make a base plastic Raider, something that beats in quickly? Sean asks. I haven't heard of anything. Would that make for a good prime?
I don't think we have that. I don't think we have plans for that right now, mostly just because people don't use base plastic for their distance drivers a ton. Sometimes, but not a ton. I don't think that's in the plans right now.
I would suggest a Biofusion Raider. Are those available, or those were only match play?
Biofusion Raider?
Yeah.
Right now they're just match play. They'll be available.
They'll be available. Once those come out, I'm going to get me some nice lightweight ones because that Biofusion will beat it nice.
Yep. Greldick says if you break into Biofusion Renegade, it's very Mamba-like. That's a good one. Mike Martinelli says you guys should sell a putter bundle to be able to test multiples out. Warden, obviously. My man. Deputy, Maiden, and Keystone. Also, can we get Keith Stone Keystones? Always smooth. We joked about that.
I thought we had.
Emerson had some Keith Stone ones made.
No, the multiple bundles.
We do have that, but that's one disc, different plastics.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we do have some packs where, like, I think it was an Escape, and you can get it in the different plastics. I think Trespass may have been one of them, where you can buy a bundle and it comes in different plastics, so you can have them in the. Say again.
Fieldwork
packs.
is
That's
those
what
are
it
called,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, fieldwork packs.
So a couple of things. I think that's actually a really good idea to try out different putters at a bundle, Mike. So thank you for that. We will take that one to the drawing board and see what we come up with.
Yeah, Scarlett in the chat board says we do have Match Play Biofusion Raiders on the website. So, yes, definitely get yourself a Match Play Biofusion Raider.
For sure.
Because I think you'll like that.
Josiah says, what are some good tips for throwing a bit higher for more distance without getting the nose up? All right. So nose up is the death of distance.
Oh, that makes me so mad. Oh, I get so frustrated when that happens to me.
What, nose up?
Yes.
Yeah,
I used to do it a lot. And then there would be times where I'd like 4 throws in and I'm still throwing nose up. I'm like, what is going on?
Right. I'll say this. One, when you are thinking about throwing a little bit flatter, think about following through just a little bit up. Don't have your entire pull through go up. Like if you start low and finish high, the disc is probably going to be slightly nose up. But if you get to the end of your flight or get to the end of your pull through and think about following through up, a lot of times that'll get the nose a little bit closer to neutral, so that'll help you some. Another is that if you are trying to throw a little bit higher shot, it's generally easier to throw a nose down higher shot while you're throwing an Hyzer because you can tilt the nose down in your hand. Like you can angle your arm toward the ground, if that makes sense. So that's what you got to work with. It's tricky. The guys who are really good at it, they do some special stuff. There you go.
All right, Ace Run. In thought the show would be over. Pleasant surprise. No, we're still going.
Nice. What's up?
We're almost over.
Canna Chris said, Origio Anvil, please, please, please. I don't think that we have those on the docket as of right now. Not to say that will never be done, but I don't know about production plans for those now. Kenny says, any significant difference in flight between the hybrid Waffle Wardens and the Lucid or Fusion models? They're actually pretty close. I think the hybrid, for whatever reason, molds up with just like a little bit more lift. Not really a dome so much, but a little bit more lift from like the parting line to the top of the flight plate. Whereas the Lucids and Fusions tend to be, the Lucids especially tend to not have quite as much of that. But flight-wise, they're really, really similar.
Jerome says, any large capacity fieldwork bags in the work, like Prodigy 4530 bag, would rather sport DD bag. I love that you would rather sport our stuff. I don't know that that's a super, super popular item. I mean, I don't exactly hang out with a bunch of people to see them do their fieldwork, but I don't know that I've seen.
We talked about that before.
Yeah, we've talked
making those bags.
Yeah, no, I just don't think that we felt like there wasn't enough interest.
Yep. Sean, this is the After Show. Thank you for asking. Joseph says, my Maverick has been dumping pretty right lately, even throwing on Hyzer. It's not super beat in. Does this mean I'm throwing it too hard? I really want to be able to throw with slow turn. Yeah, you might be throwing it a little too hard. Also, some discs don't look super beat in and are because of little microwaves in the rim. Microwaves, that's funny. Very, very tiny waves
toaster ovens
in the rim. Sometimes that can make a disc more understable than like taking a big gash out of it or something like that. So it may be a beat up disc, but it also may be that you're just throwing it too hard because you're super strong. Who knows? DJ says what?
Well, someone asked about the prize discs for the Winter Marksman League. Looks like on the website it says each Winter Marksman League pack will include 6 Winter Marksman League stamped Moonshine Mercies.
Ooh,
made exclusively for weekly winners.
Cool. I like it. Where was I at? Oh, DJ says, going to be playing a tournament for the first time in a couple of months. What's a good site to visit to get a better understanding of actual rules and not be clueless going into the tournament? DJ, you can go to pdga.com, check out the rules there. It's a long list of rules. Like, it's a really big rule book. But another thing that I would suggest is familiarize yourself with as much tournament coverage as you can. Watch the order in which people throw. The fact that they're silent while other people are throwing, that they stand out of their peripheral, everything like that. But then when you get to the event, I wouldn't be shy to tell the people on your card, like, Hey, man, this is my first event, and I'm excited to be here, but I am not 100% that I know all of the rules. So if I'm doing something wrong, if I am about to make a mistake or whatever, would you guys mind just letting me know? Like, just give me a heads up. I promise I'm not trying to do something on purpose. I'm just trying to learn. And I think most people would be willing to help out with that.
I've actually had that happen, where someone said something that they they were like, "Man, I play leagues all the time, but I've never played a PDJ tournament." So he said it kind of jokingly. Hopefully, I don't like screw up really bad, but if I do something, let me know. And I think I did like 3 times.
Cool.
So, and of course I was cool. Hey, next time. You'll want to, not flip your disc over to mark. I know you could do it in leagues, but you want to put a mini down or just go ahead and throw from your. I mean, little things like that
Right.
that you would normally do at a mini night or a league night.
Just like tap the chains when you're close to the basket.
I did have someone do that. They just waved their disc and just hit the chains, and I was like, "You're gonna want to like drop it in."
Yeah.
And
Also, not just picking up your disc from the middle of the fairway and just saying, "I'll take a 3." Usually, that's not a good one either.
That's usually not very popular even in a league night. So
works for me every time.
Okay.
I've shot lots of 54s.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Someone did have a something.
The man Angel says, "What's a good disc for a tomahawk?" It's all caps.
Oh no, Jerome! I was laughing earlier because Jerome, who asked about the fieldwork bag, says, "I guess I'll just have to go Bobby and wear 5 bags."
Dude.
From the cadet commercial.
Yeah.
That's funny.
At only $24.99 a piece.
Exactly.
Ding.
Why
On the
not
link.
get all 4?
Yeah, come on. Danny's got a good answer for what's a good disc for a tomahawk. Something very overstable, and I like something in that kind of speed 9-ish range. So he said AT, Felon, or Triple X. Those are all fantastic choices. Criminal's a good one. For me, I don't like something with a lot of dome. It just doesn't tend to do very well for whatever reason, at least for me. Oh, the Ace Run's got a good one. Sparks, if you can find them, are awesome for forehands.
I love that we're an hour and 46 minutes in as far as live the regular show, but you can tell when someone just tunes in when they say, "Oh my God, those mustaches are incredible."
Thanks, Caribou. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
Buccaneers, what plastic do you use for throwing putters? I have a Lucid Warden right now, and I have a Blend Warden. And then a Blend Cenis and a...
Hey, have you seen this?
You seen it? And a Blend or a medium Harp. So I like Blend a lot, especially in throwing putters. It helps to stick close to the basket, but still feels good in my hand without feeling like floppy like soft plastic does. Hard plastic can get a little skippy on you. So that's what I like.
That's what I like.
Yeah. Science Guy 2002 says, what should be the first skill to practice for beginners? Throwing straight. If you can throw a disc flat and have it fly straight, you can do pretty much anything you want to. Adjust your torso to match the angle that you want to throw, and then you can throw whatever shot you want.
You could play the guitar. You could sing. I mean, you are set.
The possibilities are endless if you can throw a straight shot that flies flat and ends flat.
You have arrived. All right, what do you say we wrap things up, Robert?
I don't really want to.
Oh, sorry. Well, I just want to get this edited out and moved on because tomorrow is a big, big day. I can't tell you why. But you'll see why later on.
Is it?
Is it what, a big day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very big day.
I was thinking about taking the day off. What do you think?
Yeah, you are definitely not taking the day off.
All right.
All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning into the After Show. Stay tuned in, stay locked in, stay subscribed, tell your friends, invite your grandparents, tell the in-laws they've got to watch the show.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't, then
they're out of the wheel.
I'm not sure that's how wills work.
Okay. It will for me.
We'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Bye.